Every single day, billions of us put our faith in that little dot on a map. We trust it to get us to work, to fly us across oceans. Heck, we even trust it with global financial markets. But what happens when that trust gets shattered? What if the map, the one thing you rely on, starts to lie to you? Well, welcome to the world of GPS spoofing, and it's happening a lot more than you think.
So, our story. It doesn't start in some history book. It's happening right now. There's this bizarre mystery unfolding in the Middle East, in the skies, on the seas, and on the roads. And it all kicks off with one pretty unsettling question.
And I'm not talking about it being off by a few feet, sending you to the wrong Starbucks. No. I mean, what if it told you that you were in a completely different place, miles and miles away? Because that is exactly what's happening to people right now.
Just imagine this. You hop in your car, you're in the middle of a city like Dubai, skyscrapers everywhere, and your navigation system looks you dead in the eye and says you're stranded in the middle of a vast, empty desert. This isn't a what if, it's a real problem for Tesla drivers there.
And it gets even weirder. It's not just cars. Maritime tracking systems, the ones that keep track of giant cargo ships, are showing these massive vessels, we're talking 300 meters long, basically skyscrapers on their side, parked deep inside the Arabian desert, which is, completely impossible.
But here's the really alarming part. Flight radars are catching commercial airliners doing things that defy physics. 1 second a plane's flying normally, the next, blip, it's instantly jumped across the Omani border. Then it's tracing these wild zigzag patterns in the sky. Let me be clear, these are not software glitches.
So what are we actually seeing here? This is the rollout of a new and totally invisible weapon. It's a weapon that doesn't use bombs or bullets, but it attacks the very system we built to bring order to our world. And it's called GPS spoofing. Now, this is the crucial part to understand. This isn't about blocking a GPS signal. Oh no, it's way more clever, way more deceptive than that. Spoofing is about hijacking the signal. It feeds your phone, your car, your plane a new, totally false reality that it accepts as 100% true. So your GPS is working perfectly, it's just perfectly wrong.
It's actually kind of wild when you see how this technology has come full circle. Back in 1991, during the Gulf War, the US used a brand new GPS system to navigate the desert and just dominate the battlefield. Fast forward about 30 years, and now that very same technology is being turned against itself. It's being used not for finding your way, but for deliberately making you lost.
So this brings up a huge question, right? How can a multi-billion-dollar satellite system, the absolute backbone of modern life and war, be so easy to fool? Well, the answer is kind of baked into how the whole thing works in the first place.
Okay, so here's the quick and dirty version. Your phone is constantly listening for signals from satellites way up in orbit. The signal from one satellite basically tells your phone, hey, you're somewhere on the surface of this giant imaginary sphere. Then a second satellite signal creates another sphere, and where those two intersect, you get a circle of possible spots you could be. It's that third satellite signal that nails your exact position, right where all three spheres cross.
And here's the system's fatal flaw. Those satellite signals have to travel over 20,000 kilometers to get to your phone. By the time they arrive, they're incredibly weak, like a faint whisper in a crowded room. A spoofer, on the other hand, is just a transmitter on the ground nearby. It can easily broadcast a fake GPS signal that's way, way stronger. It's basically shouting. And your phone's receiver, it's always going to lock on to the loudest voice in the room.
And it's really important to get the difference here. Jamming is just brute force. It's like blasting static so you can't hear anything. Your GPS just gives up. Spoofing is surgical. It's subtle. It sends a perfectly valid-looking but fake GPS signal, with the time code just slightly off. And since GPS figures out your location based on how long a signal takes to reach you, even a tiny error, a millisecond, can throw your position off by hundreds of kilometers.
Okay, so while this all started as a military tool, the consequences are now spilling over into every part of our civilian lives. And honestly, it's creating dangers that we're only just starting to wrap our heads around.
I mean, really think about it. An airplane's collision avoidance system might not see a mountain right in front of it because it thinks the plane is miles away. Automated trading on the stock market relies on the super precise atomic clocks in GPS satellites to timestamp trades. If you corrupt that, you could crash the market in seconds. And yeah, on a smaller scale, all the ride-sharing and delivery apps we depend on, they just grind to a halt.
So what we're looking at here isn't just a new tactic. This is a fundamental shift in what a battlefield can even be. It's not just about land, sea, and air anymore. Now it's the electromagnetic spectrum itself.
And we've seen this movie before. The first massive wake-up call was way back in 2011. Iran managed to spoof a top-secret U.S. stealth drone. They didn't shoot it down, that's the genius of it. They just fed it fake coordinates, tricking the drone into thinking it was landing safely at its home base in Afghanistan. Instead, it touched down, perfectly intact, on an Iranian runway. It was a checkmate move in an invisible war.
That whole drone incident was such a powerful lesson, wasn't it? It proves that our biggest technological strengths can, and absolutely will, be turned into our greatest vulnerabilities. The future is going to belong to the people who know how to operate even when the systems they depend on have been totally compromised.
So, as we watch these digital ghosts flicker across our screens, ships in the desert, planes jumping across borders, we really have to ask ourselves, when the very idea of location and time can be twisted and manipulated, what does security even mean anymore? And in this new kind of war, who's actually on the front line?